All aboard! You're going to have to excuse not only my enthusiasm, but perhaps the way I look right now. Just got done demolishing a Tuesday turbulent. You call it. Woo! It's great to be back. Anyhow, let me talk about what's really on my mind that I wanted to share with you live here prior to the You Call It, but time just was not in my favor. So I had received, as probably most every one of us proud, honorable vehicle owners, a recall statement for one of our vehicles. So I brought it into the dealership when I was getting my other car serviced for a replacement alternator. So I was getting an alternator replaced, and while I was there, I said, hey, by the way, on our other car, we got this recall. I mean, is this legit? And the guy's like, well, yeah, it's a recall. It's legit. So I said, all right, well, let's make an appointment for it. And the appointment happened to be for today, 9 o'clock. I'm thinking I'll have plenty of time to get ready for the You Call It. Our 1-year anniversary today, March 23rd, 2020 was when we indoctrinated the You Call It quarantine lean. And we are celebrating today. We just got done. I mean, I'm like wringing out my shirt. I am clean up aisle 7 type sweat, the ring around my hat type of sweat. And so I had a 9 o'clock appointment, no big deal. He said it was gonna be an hour. So I'm always prepared. I always wanna know how long I'm gonna be there so I know what to bring my computer, bring some work, bring some projects I can work on. And so when I got there, they pulled the car in and I barely had a chance to sit in the waiting room. And the technician goes, hey, by the way, you also have a light on in your car, or there's a code. A code is clicked for your transmission. Do you mind if we take a look at that? I said, well, yeah, if it's something serious, then go take a look at it. I said, how long is that gonna be? He goes, well, give us an extra half hour. So it's like an hour and a half. I'm like, all right. Again, something I can't control. I don't really worry about it. I'm prepared. I'm gonna do something while I'm waiting. As a responsible vehicle owner, I take my vehicle in for the recall. The recall, they fixed that problem, they fixed that issue. I typically put those things off, like, it's a recall, or even oil changes, I leave a little bit of leeway and wiggle room. So I'm in the waiting room, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes, and they call my name. They're like, Steve, here. He goes, hey, listen, I gotta bring this to your attention. But that coded light that you had on, he goes, it's a little more significant than we thought it was gonna be. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, the transmission light or the code had clicked, and you're on a code 2 right now. I said, well, I'm gonna plead my ignorance here. I'm not sure what a code 2 is. He goes, well, there's 3 codes. The first code is that you need a valve fixed. So you need something fixed in your valve, and it's a pretty simple replacement that gets your transmission operating efficiently. The second code is telling us that we need to take apart and restructure the transmission. Again, I'm using whatever language I can remember him saying. I could be completely off on what he was talking about. From what I was interpreting it as was that I have to take apart the transmission and then put it back together. Or not me, but they're gonna do it. And then the third code was that the transmission would have exploded. And I'm like, whoa. And I was like, all right, that's sort of a big deal. I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking 2 things. A, wow, am I glad that I brought it in when I did, because I told him I'll bring it back tomorrow because he says he needs it for a couple days. And I'm at the car dealership, no ride. I can't afford to be there for any longer than an extra hour because I have to be ready for You Call It so I can go host and create some excitement. And I said, all right, well, I'll bring it back tomorrow. And the look on his face was like, I don't think you want to even wait that long to bring it back tomorrow. And I'm like, can I bring it back today, later? He's like, hey, whatever you want to do, I would just say the sooner the better. And I'm like, wow, like what kind of condition have I been driving my vehicle in? So I was thinking that recall was happening for me. But then the second thing I was thinking, probably what most everybody would be thinking when they're being told the news about a transmission, I'm thinking, holy cripe, what's the investment gonna be for this? And so I said, well, what's it gonna cost me? And before I can even say what's it gonna cost me, he goes, you're real fortunate. He goes, you have a very short window of time where your warranty is going to cover whatever transmission work needs to be done. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I'm talking like 7 to 10 days worth of warranty left. I'm like, woo! Certainly this is happening for me and not to me. Where most people would be like, why do I have to get a warranty notice? Why is it happening to me where I have to sit for an hour, hour and a half in this waiting room and I have all these other things to do? And I'm thinking, slow down. And what is great coming out of this? What lessons am I learning from this? And the lessons are just listen to the signs. Listen to what's happening and be prepared. Be prepared with something to do. Be prepared if it goes an extra 30 minutes. Or be prepared now that my car is going to be in the shop. Once my wife can take me and we can bring the car there, it's going to take me a couple days without our vehicle. So, yeah, I mean, the awareness. Think about the awareness of, and this is there's micro things everywhere in your life. There's micro incidences that are happening that you may not even realize that it's happening for you. And it doesn't even seem like it's happening at the time. Like you don't realize that me going in for a recall that was out of my control was aligning me for something bigger to be fixed. And at no expense out of pocket, at least knock on wood, not at this point. So I wanted to share that story with you and illustrate just the mindfulness and awareness to what is happening for you in your life, because something happens for us every single day, way more moments than we think we do. And if we continue to think that things are happening to you, you will constantly be in a state of reaction. And we know where reaction leads. Reaction leads to unhappiness and fearfulness and worry and stress. Where if you come from a place of it's happening for you, regardless of how it looks at the time, then you start living in more peace and more abundance and more blissfulness and just a calmer state. And that's the place I enjoy being. And again, I control the things I can control and I cope with the things I can't control and I concentrate on the things that matter. So, yes, thank you for those that had jumped on the You Call It today. I really appreciate the energy. And again, the energy was contagious and you were in the moment, working hard, hustling, 30 minutes, 2% of your day. If you showed up to today's class, you are checking off your scoreboard. Check, check, check. You're bonusing today for your scoreboard. And if you're catching this on the replay, first, welcome to the replay. Second, I want you to share an experience that you had today. Find an experience where life was happening for you, not to you. Because I know it's there. We see it it's there every day. We may not see it every day, but I assure you, the opportunities are presenting itself for you to be aware of what's happening for you. So, woo! Enjoy your day. Let's go. I'm out. Later, Tater. Keep pedaling.